Welcome to the American Dream Connection. I am Amy Atkins.
I'm Mike Meena.
And we have a guest today. This is a show where we talk about everything having to do with owning a home, planning your life, all that good stuff. So today we have a guest.
Yeah, he's a life planner. No, you're not. You're an estate attorney.
Estate planner.
Estate planner? Is that what you are?
Estate planner.
But you're an attorney.
I'm an attorney.
This is Larry Ajalat, by the way.
Larry Ajalat.
Larry and I go way back. I met you, what, Tuesday?
Monday night.
Monday, yeah.
Monday.
Whew. Long time ago. Probably about 30, 40. How old are you?
My whole life, right? 46.
Yeah, I wasn't there when he was born, but I've known him my whole life, and his whole life is at least.
So Larry,
yes.
Tell us about what you do.
She always wants to be serious about business.
I know, I got to bring it back somehow.
Okay, yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's
okay,
my
thanks.
job.
Well,
so tell us what you do.
Sure. The quick background, I'm obviously an attorney. I handle estate planning. Attorneys typically confrontational things. Well, several years ago, I realized I'm not a confrontational person. So I turned toward estate planning. I had already been doing some, but I really wanted to focus on it because you get the clients in, you do something for them that they know they need, they get happy, they're pleased, they pay you, frankly, and everyone walks away very happy. Usual interactions with attorneys are, I've been injured, I need $1 million, or I've been wronged, make it right, and it's confrontational. That's not me.
Yeah, that's why there's all those jokes about attorneys.
That's exactly right. So I love doing estate planning. That's the background. I work with my father and my two brothers. We're all attorneys. I'm the youngest of the three brothers, and love what I do.
So what's a family trust? I mean, for our audience that doesn't know, or the three people that watch us, what is a family trust? What's the reason you would get a family trust?
Well, an estate plan. The trust being the backbone of an estate plan. Now, what is an estate plan? What's it for? To understand why you need an estate plan, you have to understand what happens if you don't have one. Okay? In a nutshell, bad things happen if you don't have one. Okay? The first thing that can happen to an individual is they become incapacitated. Okay? If you're incapacitated and you do not have an estate plan in place, somebody needs to take care of you. Somebody needs to make your medical decisions, pay your bills, all right? Handle your estate, your assets. How do they get the authority to do that? Again, without an estate plan in place, the only way to do that is petition the court, okay, for what's known as a conservatorship.
And that takes a long time.
Conservatorship takes a very long time. It's a very expensive process, okay? If you imagine the scenario where you're incapacitated, somebody has to then go to the attorney has to prepare documents. This is going to take a month. Those documents have to be filed, and the court will give you a hearing date within a few months. You're sitting there incapacitated. Your bills need to be paid. Your medical decisions need to be made. Can't happen, okay?
Yeah.
Conservatorship, very expensive process, very long process, all right? Estate plan, obviously, will avoid that whole situation. The next thing that could occur is certainly if you pass away or someone passes away. Again, without an estate plan in place, the court is the one that oversees this in what's called a probate. Most people are familiar with that.
Yep.
You petition the court, you say, hey, so-and-so passed away, they had these assets, pay these off, ultimately distribute. Okay, again, probate process, LA County, between 1 year and 2 years. As a minimum. If you have some real property that needs to be sold or handled, it can be longer. A very expensive process as well. Even an estate worth $500,000 nowadays, which is not a big deal now if you have, real property, you have some life insurance, probate fees can be $30,000, $40,000.
See, the idea is get all this set up before you become sick. At what age would somebody look at estate planning?
There's a misconception that estate planning is only for people that have money, and that's wrong. It is needed for everybody, okay? Again, if you become incapacitated, anyone can get into an accident. Anybody can have a medical condition. And if those things occur, you need somebody to handle your affairs. Again, whether you're dealing with a $10,000 estate or a $1 million estate, people have things that need to be taken care of. And of course, money doesn't matter when you're talking about medical issues as well.
Right.
Okay, so everybody should have an estate plan. The goal of an estate plan, the main goal, is to care for you. So people think, oh, I don't care who gets my stuff when I pass away. That's an important goal. It's a secondary goal, though. Okay, the main goal is to make sure you are cared for and your assets are used for your benefit.
I know you're always telling people this too, that it's important to get with an estate planner.
Yeah, no, if you don't have your estate plan, if you don't have a family trust put together, you got so many other problems that are going to happen. But what happens? Yeah, I get sick. Who's going to take care of me? If my wife's gone, what's going to happen? Which kids are in charge of what? Who's going to be in charge of the money? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? And actually, when I pass away, who's going to be in charge of the 3 girls or 4 girls fighting? I'm not really sure how many kids I have, so shh, quiet. They just keep coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm just kidding. But of the 4 girls, who's going to get what? Who's in charge of what? How does that work? Even with our family, my sisters and my brother, and who's going to handle that when my dad goes? So we always have to worry about that kind of thing. And what happens? What are his things when if he's 81 years old, if he gets sick? What are all those things that we have to do? So those are things that you guys put out there, and you ask every little detail question to know everything we want, from keeping us alive to what we want to do once we're gone.
Organ donation. Do you want to be buried, cremated? I mean, we get into it.
Yeah.
We want this stuff in writing so that your agents, the people you've left behind, are not guessing at these things.
Right.
Look, they have to deal with, if you're incapacitated, they have to deal with that. If you're passed away, they have to deal with that grief. They don't want to deal with, oh gosh, well, what do we do with this account? Or, where are we going to bury or cremate, or what did they want? Okay, when you have everything in writing taken care of beforehand, it allows them to take care of themselves. And if you become sick, we've had people that come in, they say, look, I was just diagnosed with cancer. I need to get an estate plan done immediately. Okay, we want them to be able to handle their medical issue, not worry about all this stuff. So that's why everyone should have this in place.
So I know we're kind of running long here, but I have a couple questions. This is really important. I get clients all the time that say, I have 2 nickels to rub together. I'm buying a house. I'm putting 3.5% down. Why do I need an estate plan? Okay. I understand the medical part of it, but how about, and then they say, well, I've got 40 grand in the bank, but I'm going to just transfer it over to my daughter's account. She knows she's on the account. Is that good? So those are kind of the 2 things that I get a lot of pushback of, I don't need an estate plan. I'm not going to spend money on that. Tell me why.
Well, number one, there's tax implications when you just give things to people outright like that. The tax implications in general go away if those gifts are given upon death. Okay. The other thing is we want to protect your assets. We want to make sure that the assets are not needed to be sold to care for you. Okay. Through the trust, through the estate plan, you can make those provisions and make sure everything is cared for. Okay. Otherwise, again, a probate. If you have to probate a house, if someone only has a house, they have to probate it. They have to pay their attorney's fees. They have to pay the court fees. If there's no cash to do so, that house is going to have to be sold. The heirs are not going to get a house. So. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of them. There's many.
Well, you know what? This is something too. When people are looking at buying their first property, that's kind of like, oh, we got married, or we're getting, let's buy a house. They also need to do this too, because this is something they need to start early.
Oh, absolutely.
So how would they get in touch with you? Because we're going to have you here on the screen.
Yeah, wonderful.
But how do they get in touch with you?
They call me, they text me, they email me, and they say, look, I'm interested in it. I have questions. I am always open to answer any questions. You're going to talk to me. You're not going to get a bill. Attorneys get that reputation. You're not going to get a bill for calling me and me answering questions. Happy to talk to anybody at any time and answer any questions they have.
Great.
Yeah, it's about planning your future. It's about getting with the right trust attorney or estate attorney that's going to handle you and take care of you and your family. Like I said, I've known Larry for years. If for some reason it goes into probate, they get the jerk. They get Steve. Okay, the one who doesn't mind confrontation, the oldest of the 3 brothers.
Exactly.
No,
right.
He's actually a good guy too. So I've known these people since I was born, and great people. But Greg, give me your information, or Larry. I'm thinking
Greg's the other one.
Greg's the middle brother. We forget about him.
So Larry Ajalat of Ajalat and Ajalat. The office number is 818-506-1500. I don't mind if anyone wants my cell number either. You can text me, 818-438-4952, or call my cell. If I don't answer because I don't recognize the number, leave me a message.
Larry, thanks so much for being on the show with us
Thank
today.
you guys
we really
for having
appreciate
me.
you coming in, and this is great information. And
Absolutely.
you guys, again, give us a like, give us a share, so we know you're out there.
Yeah, so thanks so much. Have a great week.
We'll see
Thank you.